So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick. And plus, I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, Australia keen to offer more bilateral agreements to Fiji. Australia provides $8.8 million to support job creation and local business industry in Fiji. And public consultation informed that the state owns the Ngolingoli. Hello and welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Australia is willing to offer more bilateral agreements with Fiji as the relationship between the two countries has reached an all-time high after the September general elections. Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop has reaffirmed her country's commitment to strengthening relations with Fiji on the final day of a ministerial visit to the country. Rutika Pratap has more.
It's been a long time coming, as relations between Australia and Fiji soured to some extent after the December 2006 coup. After the September 17 general elections, Australia has sent its first high-level official to the country. Other than bilateral discussions, Fiji's position on rejoining the Pacific Islands Forum was also made clear during the Australian minister's visit.
We are not saying that we should kick out Australia and New Zealand. What we are saying, maybe we should invite other development partners, like Japan. Japan had expressed interest last year, not only to be a development partner, but also to be a member, like Australia and New Zealand. And also maybe Korea, United States of America, France.
However, it has been decided that a high-level leaders meeting will be held in Sydney later to discuss issues relating to the forum.
In a very frank discussion with Inoki yesterday, before he could announce he was kicking me out, I jumped in and said, what we must do is try and make this work for the Pacific. So how about we get all the Pacific leaders together, and you've got to be a Pacific country, none of these other people who think they are, you've got to be a Pacific country. Let's get together and talk about what we actually want. Who do we want to be partners or dialogue partners or what other membership capacity they might have? And let's work out what we actually want.
Bishop says it is the aim of the Tony Abbott-led government to have a deeper, stronger and a more diversified relationship with Fiji than before.
We talked about the list of issues that we had been talking about in February, how we would normalise relations. And I am delighted that Australia will now have a permanent head of mission here in Fiji, and Fiji will have a permanent head of mission in Australia.
The Foreign Minister says Australia would like to put robust strength into Fiji's public sector and public sector agencies.
We will be working with Fiji to have what we call an institutional partnership program, whereby we'll have exchanges between public sector employees in Fiji with Australia, twinning arrangements, and I'm hoping that Inoki and I can do that with our own department of the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Meanwhile, the Fijian Foreign Minister, Ratu Inoke Kumambola, has emphasized that Fiji's foreign policy remains.
Fiji is committed to strengthening the political, diplomatic and economic relations with all development partners. Towards that end, we will explore and pursue viable opportunities with our closest and largest trading partner, Australia. At the same time, we are currently reviewing certain sections of our domestic policies that may, in the immediate term, delay full-scale relations with Australia.
Bishop returned to Australia this afternoon. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Australian government has announced a further $8.8 million over 4 years to support job creation and local business industry in Fiji. This will be done through the Market Development Facility, which is the Australian government's flagship program for private sector development in Fiji.
Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop viewed an exhibition by local businesses that are being supported by the Market Development Facility, and she gave her nod of approval, saying she is impressed by what she saw.
An existing pilot project that we've got, the Market Development Facility, which provides Australian overseas development assistance money, partnering with private sector businesses to leverage up their opportunities to build significant businesses here in Fiji. That is working.
The MDF currently has a portfolio of 23 active partnerships in which it has invested $1 million Australian dollars. Bishop says they believe in strengthening the private sector, which in turn contributes hugely towards economic growth.
Businesses in Fiji to use Australian aid money to help build their businesses, provide job opportunities and grow the Fijian economy. And this is what Friends do. We work together in partnership to ensure that Fijians will have the opportunities to embrace the unique qualities that you have as a country.
Fiji's Trade Minister Fayaz Koya, who accompanied the Australian Foreign Minister, says he was pleased with the level of support given to local businesses.
This particular facility, it concerns tourism, also the industry, and we are really extremely grateful to the Minister for the extra support that we've got and looking forward to an even better future.
The Market Development Facility was launched in Suva over 2 years ago. Pakistan and Timor-Leste are the two other countries participating in the program. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Now, opposition leader Rotemumu Kepa says she is pleased with the exchange that has taken place with Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop. Kepa says Bishop was keen to hear the views of the opposition on the various topics discussed. Discussions covered the general elections, human rights, Auditor General's reports, seasonal workers, Pacific Islands Forum, as well as other topics. And Bishop met with Kepa, Biman Prasad, Pio Tambaiwalu and Mick Beddoes from the opposition in Parliament yesterday. A public consultation on land held in Nandi today has been informed that the government owns the Ngolingoli or traditional fishing ground. Questions about who owns the Ngolingoli was raised by some landowners at the consultation. Christopher Chand reports.
All this while the questions are directed to the Lands Director. I have a question.
The forum provided the public the platform to ask the questions they have been wanting to for some time. Some landowners went as far as to asking who owns the Ngolingoli or traditional fishing ground and what rights they had to the Ngolingoli.
The state owns the Ngolingoli. Itauke landowners have fishing rights in relation to the Ngolingolis. So I think in some forums we get to hear about the Ngolingoli owners. That's wrong. It's a fishing rights that we have.
The forum also gave some the chance to air their grievances.
This government has a priority to regularize squatter settlements, to give them security of tenure, individual security of tenure, not only for squatter settlements but also for illegal subdivisions. Those are the two categories that we're specifically looking at.
This is the third of 5 public forums that the Ministry of Lands has planned around the country.
We're reviewing our processes. We've looked at the complaints that people have put into the ministry, and it boils down to processes within. So we're looking at that. In order to review properly, holistically, we thought we should hear the issues first, get to know what the issues are.
The emphasis is to improve the service delivery and to ensure the government delivers on promises that were made by the Fiji First Party prior to elections. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Well, daylight savings begins tomorrow. You will have to move your timepiece forward by 1 hour from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. tomorrow. Daylight saving will continue for 11 weeks, ending on January the 18th, 2014. The daylight saving order was issued and gazetted by the Employment Minister Tioche Conrote late last month. Coming up after the break, composer Inglise Ete to provide music score for Disney movie Moana.
Ya bina pwede mwanto kwa chukuma ini mwasi mwana kwa Bula FM namba ndiwe na siri na ngona ni ndende manda ke Central Rental Support ke ndero sumu kwa minichi meva na koloko. Ni sabula.
Oya wa watisoni ndalai.
Gonga ya mwasi dono.
Nama kikirau bena tolu kene bitu. Ena via kabi moliti kene kwa rombuka.
Gori na lali ne kabi. Bula FM namba ndiwa ya na siri.
Welcome back to FBC News. Police are investigating an accident which claimed the life of a 43-year-old man in Suva last night. The victim of Dautata in Nosori was driving a vehicle which went off the road in Nambua and into the compound of a taxi driver. The victim was found unconscious and taken to the CWM hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Police have not classified the case as a road fatality, as the post-mortem examination is yet to be conducted. RED Plus, an international initiative to reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, has launched its Pacific website. The online information will allow Pacific stakeholders access and exchange of up-to-date information on the project, which is currently being piloted in 4 Melanesian countries. Maggie Boyle has more.
The website launch on RED Plus Pacific will enable regional countries to get the latest information at the press of a button.
The platform will be able to provide the comprehensive data and information needed for developing RED Plus approaches in the Pacific Islands region. It is designed to provide information to various key stakeholders such as policy and decision makers in SPC member countries, regional and international organizations, donor agencies, educational institutions, NGOs, communities, stakeholders, including resource and landowners.
For Fiji, the RED Plus initiative is more than deriving a source of income from forest resources.
The government of Fiji, through the Ministry of Fisheries and Forests, recognizes the vital role that our forest and marine resource plays in overcoming the adverse effects of climate change to our country. Thus, it is the priority program of my ministry to ensure that these vital resources are properly conserved and sustainably managed, with a RED Plus policy and other related policies and strategies now in place in Fiji.
The website will primarily serve Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu and Fiji, which are piloting the RED Plus project. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
More than 12,000 students will sit the Fiji Year 12 certificate examination from Monday. The exams will be held at 166 centres around the country. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says this exam is a benchmark for higher education and employment opportunities. He has urged all Year 12 students to maximise this opportunity and ensure they secure scholarships and employment in future. Reddy has also reminded teachers, parents, students and the exam supervisors to appropriately align their time as daylight saving starts tomorrow. The Fiji Year 12 certificate exam ends on the 14th of this month. 7 students of the USP's journalism program have been recognized for their work this year. The students scooped up awards at their annual Journalism Awards held last night. The Best Editor Award went to graduate Tevita Vuimbao for his outstanding leadership and 2014 elections coverage. Best News Story was picked up by Edward Tavana Vanua, who also scooped up 2 additional awards, Best Sub-Editing and Feature Writing. Most Promising Student went to first-year student Sonal Singh. And the Dean's Award went to the Student Journalist of the Year, Honorina Saukelo. And 5 students were also acknowledged for their contribution as editors for the student newspaper, Wansalwara. Fiji-based composer Inglise Ete will be providing his vast knowledge of Pacific music in a Disney movie titled Moana. Moana is a story set 2,000 years ago and is about a Pacific Island teenager who goes on a journey to complete her ancestors' quest. Rashika Kumar with the details.
Renowned composer Inglese Ete is working on a big and special assignment that would take him to Hollywood sometime next year. The assignment is with Disney, which is putting together a South Pacific story featuring a girl, Moana, and a demigod, Maui. With his work with the Pacifica Voices and his involvement with the soundtrack of Lord of the Rings, the obvious choice for the Moana team was Ete.
I've just been dialoguing with him, having some talks in regards to doing the same sort of work, sort of choral work, arranging the music, alongside Opatei Hawaii, who's from Te Waka, and also Mark Mancina, who did the Lion King soundtracks. I'm aiming to go over probably the end of the year to have some meetings with him.
Music scores of any Disney movie is part of the reason why the movies are commercially successful. Movies like Frozen and The Lion King. With this in mind, Ete's major concern is keeping true to Pacific music that would best represent the entire Pacific.
We're trying to ensure that it represents our Pacific culture as well, and that's always the the danger sometimes is that when you give it to other cultures, they could misrepresent. So I'm sort of glad that I can be involved and try and sort of influence in a positive way, so our Pacific music is represented well.
This may be a great opportunity for Fiji and the Pacific. The USB music choir, Pacifica Voices, may get a chance to do a score for the movie.
So this is something that here at Oceania want to promote. And so if we can get our young people here from Fiji involved, and we got the talents, and I've always said to the young people in Fiji, we got the talents to be on the world stage. And literally we can be on that world stage through Moana.
Ete is expected to fly out to Los Angeles sometime next year to start the project. Many people are anticipating the movie as the producers are in talks with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who may sing in the movie. Moana is expected to be released in 2016. Rashika Kumar, FPC News.
The film is directed by John Musker and Ron Clements, who are both the directors of Aladdin, The Little Mermaid and The Princess and the Frog. Coming up in sports, defence, the key to Army's victory over police in Sakuna Bowl Challenge. An annual Fiji men's and mixed netball competition launched in Nadi today.
छू 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 हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची, इट्स हॉट।
Welcome to FPC Sports. Defence has been hailed as the key to Army's victory over police in the Sakuna Bowl Challenge in Suva. Hardworking Captain Esake Katonimbao commended his troops for maintaining a brick wall defence in crucial stages of the game to deny the Blues victory at the ANZ Stadium yesterday. Chalendo Dakadaka reports.
As anticipated, the 2014 Sakuna Bowl Challenge was another gritty affair between the two defence forces. Army rose to the occasion on the back of a solid defence and forced police into making uncommon mistakes.
It was a physical encounter between the two forces, and first half we lost a lot of balls. We couldn't control the game. There were plenty of loose balls. But I commend the boys for stepping up on their defence, because the defence played a great part in our victory today.
Some inspiring words from Army coach and Nandronga mentor Esala Naunga during the breather fired up the soldiers, driving the players to step up the pressure in the second spell.
During the second half, when we went to the changing room, our coach told us just to control the possession, because you wanted the possession. If there was no possession, if you keep on losing balls, you keep on knocking the ball forward, you couldn't score tries.
The soldiers had to rely on a touchdown try by fly half Suniamba Niwalu to seal the win, a deserved triumph to reward the efforts of the entire team in defence. Talent Odakadak, FBC Sports.
The Tamandambu rugby side claimed the Coastal Great 8 Sevens title at Lawanga Park in Singatoka after defeating Tovolea in the final. The side had the services of national reps Setefana Dakau and Sitiveni Wanga. Tovolea caused the biggest upset of the competition by outsing defending champions Wardens Gold in the semi-finals. Meanwhile, the 8 quarter-finalists have booked a spot in the Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens. And the Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens will be held at the same venue on November 13th to the 15th. The Fiji Rugby Union will be extending an invitation to the International Rugby Board to have one of its representatives present in the construction of its new constitution. Rugby House is looking to make amendments to its constitution, specifically in the quorum required in order to hold an annual general meeting. The decision was a directive by the board to keep the world body in the loop.
We've kept the IRB up to date with all these developments. They are fully aware of the fact that we've been trying to have an AGM, so they're fully on board.
The FRU is yet to hold an AGM this year due to a lack of quorum and is looking at alternative solutions, including taking the matter to Parliament. Failure to hold an AGM could result in the IRB imposing penalties, in particular the suspension of financial assistance to Fiji. The annual Fiji men's and mixed netball competition was launched in Nadi today. Kex Marketing Limited donated $10,000 to help fund the event. The competition promises bigger and better things this time around, with organisers giving a sneak peek as to what teams can expect at Korevolu Park in Nadi later this month.
Besides the 5 districts that are registering about 5 to 6 teams per category, the tournament has also attracted the attention of business houses. We hope to incorporate a business house championship which is sponsored by BSP and Kex Marketing, and also an invitational program that we've done is inviting non-rugby players from rugby associations to actually put together teams to participate for this tournament.
The Fiji men's and mixed netball tournament will be held on November 15th in Nadi. The Barbarians rugby side is gearing up for a fiery encounter against the Wallabies at Twickenham Stadium in England tomorrow. The feature will be a monumental game for those wearing the black and white jersey for the first time at the iconic arena.
I just think it's tradition. You know, it's 125 years, I think, coming up for Barbarians rugby. The players that have played in the jersey, the greatest names that have ever walked on a rugby pitch have played in this jersey. And I just think it's the opportunity for guys to come together that normally bash each other around and room together, different nations coming together. You can have a couple of beers and relax and just concentrate on playing your best footy. So I think that's unique and special and something we have to cherish.
I think because it's a invitational team only. Growing up watching all the internationals who've been through this jersey, and the fact that you're coming from around the world, it's a pretty special team to be a part of.
It's a really good group. I don't think Barbarians groups ever have any bad eggs, because the guys who got here deserve to be here, and in general, people who are successful in this game are good blokes. So it's been brilliant, and we've had a couple of good nights. It's been good fun, as Barbarians folklore insists.
Yesterday and today, trainings were outstanding. Obviously I let the players sort of run things a lot, and they've been brilliant, gelled together really well. I thought the standard of training and the quality of training was really good yesterday. Today we're a bit more disjointed, just getting through some of the things that you might have a 6-week pre-season to get organised, and we're doing it in sort of 40 minutes. But yeah, it's been really, really good fun.
The Barbarians will host the Wallabies at 3:30 a.m. tomorrow at Twickenham Stadium. The match will also mark the international debut for Fiji-born Australian winger Henry Spate. Well, showers were experienced over most parts of the country in the afternoon. Lambasa received 4 millimeters of rain overnight to 9 a.m. today. Now, a trough of low pressure lies slow moving just north of Fiji. Meanwhile, another trough lies east of the Solomons. Maximum temperatures range from 29 to 32 degrees today. Lotoka and Nandi had the highest at 32, while Savu Savu and Suva had 29. You can expect some showers over Vanuatu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands, the interior and eastern parts of the other larger islands. Elsewhere, showers, especially in the afternoon or evening. Isolated heavy falls and thunderstorms are likely, with moderate southeast winds fresh at times. And heading into Monday, expect some showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, and with afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. Now on to our main points again. Australia is willing to offer more bilateral agreements with Fiji as relations between the two countries have reached an all-time high after the September general elections. A public consultation on land held in Nadi today has been informed that the government owns the Ngolingoli or traditional fishing ground. And more than 12,000 students will sit the Fiji Year 12 certificate examination from Monday. On to our poll question. Should there be a fireworks ban? Visit our FPC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fpc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FPC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FPC News or hashtag FPC News. That's all from us. Don't forget to wind your clocks an hour ahead at 2 a.m. or before you go to sleep tonight. Join me again tomorrow. Until then, good night.